What's up, Fed? Indy here. I am here to give you just a really quick rundown on how to use our mining support tool. We know we've got quite a few miners in the corp, and we wanted to keep it as easy as possible for you guys and help make as much ISK as possible. So you'll find a link in the description, obviously, for this tool. It's in the Discord as well. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to mention me in the Discord, send me a message, whatever you need. But as soon as you click the link, this is what should come up. So it should look like this. It is in a view only mode at the moment. So the first thing you'll have to do is just create a copy for yourself. But so long as you're signed into your Google account, that shouldn't be an issue. But once you've got all that, you're all signed in and it's opened up, you literally just go to File and then make a copy. It'll ask where you want to save it to. Let's go OK. So once you open up the sheet, you're going to see it split into basically three main sections. You're going to have pilot details, value, and transport. And you're going to kind of want to work through these one at a time. But basically, as a bit of an overview, you will update the relevant details in here. This is going to start telling you how much value you would make from each haul if you were to, say, only get pyro or whatever. And then when it comes to transporting it between different locations, whether you have a particular spot you like to go mining and somewhere you like to keep all your stuff, then this is going to help you figure out whether it's best to just transport that whatever you've collected raw, or reprocess it and then transport it. Because obviously reprocessing does give you a much smaller volume uptake, but reprocessing does result in a much higher actual volume of minerals. So this will help you figure out what's going to be the best option there. But basically, first thing you want to do is update the market prices for the minerals. Now, obviously, there's a lot. You don't have to do them all. If you're only, say, going out for some common and uncommon ore types, then you only really need to update the first couple of prices that are relevant to you. But yeah, put them in your sector of space too, because obviously they do fluctuate from wherever you are. So yeah, this is going to help you get a kind of better, accurate representation of how much ISK you're going to make when you do go on to sell it on. Then you have your reprocessing efficiency. Obviously, once you collect ore, you can reprocess it to try and get a better value, and the better your efficiency, the more minerals you're going to get after reprocessing. So this allows you to just manually update and change whatever your skill is for the different ore types, and then this is going to reflect later on too. You've got your fees and transaction tax calculator. So you can obviously find these in the market tab, but you can literally just update them right here. And this is as well going to trickle through and update how much ISK you're going to make when you do go on to sell it on. And if you want, there's another section here where you can just get a little kind of manual calculator. So let's say you know after kind of doing some calculations down here that you're going to make, say, 1 million ISK. Got it? This is then going to go through and just calculate the broker's fee and transaction tax, so you know how much you would make after fees and tax. That's just like a nice little kind of handy calculator there. But then you come on to the mining cargo capacity. Now this starts helping the magic to happen later on. So this is where one of the main things you're going to do is update what your mining ship ore hold and its cargo capacity is. So obviously your ship cargo is going to be much smaller than your ore cargo capacity. But I know that when I'm mining, I like to often shift ore into my ship hold anyway, just try and maximize the amount of ore I'm going to take. So obviously we want to be including that in our calculation, so you can update those there too. And we're going to come back to this delivery hold here. But once you update your mining ship hold, your reprocessing efficiencies, and those market prices, then you're going to start seeing all of this magic happen in the value section. Now, it's only really broken into value. It doesn't really go into the numerical amount or volume of each mineral or that you're going to get. Obviously, everyone's interested in making money, so it's just valued just under the value tab. But once you've updated all this pilot details at the top, then you're going to start seeing this reflect in terms of the value that you would get from hauling these types of ores. So updating these will actually update your carrying capacity. So if I was to change this to, say, 18,000, then you're going to see my amount of ore that I can carry substantially increase obviously that's going to reflect the prices up here. And if I was to actually reprocess it, this is going to tell me the new value that I would get after reprocessing if I was to sell it on. This middle column here is actually going to show you the change. So it'll light up green if you're making money and gaining profit from reprocessing, and it's going to be red if you reprocess and actually lose money. So as I say, this will help you out here to whatever you need. Something else that might be handy, I know that sometimes I collect split minerals and I go, oh my gosh, I've got a little bit of pyro, a little bit of kernite. How much is this all up? Then I know what I'll sometimes do is just literally delete this column. I'll go, I know I've got 10,000 kernite, I know I've got, say, 8,000 pyro, and then I go, cool, they're my figures that I need, I might chop them down, and then I'll just literally undo those changes, and then back to normal. And the final thing, and probably the most important thing about this entire section here, is it's color graded through the value that you would get. So it's scaled only within this column, and this scale is only within this column, but it's gonna go to the brightest green as to which is gonna make you the most money. So this is gonna allow you to easily identify which ore is most profitable to go for at the moment. And let's say if you want to exclude a particular mineral from this calculation, like let's say titanium is a bit difficult to sell and you just want to exclude that, then you can get rid of that just from that column, just like we did before, and suddenly your new highest value ore is going to highlight, down here. And then you can just literally undo, and it'll pop that back. And look, if you ever make any issues or changes that you regret, you can always pop back into the original tool and just make yourself a new copy. No dramas there. So then it brings you on to this transport section. So obviously you've updated details, you've figured out which is the most profitable ore to go for, you've been mining, you've maybe done a few trips, and you've stored it all in a station. And now you want to bring it back to, sell it on in market, maybe do some manufacturing, do whatever you want to do. You've got to transport it. Now, obviously when you reprocess ore, it's going to take up much less volume in your ship, but you're just going to get a much higher quantity. So it can often get a bit difficult to figure out whether it is best to transport raw or whether to reprocess. So what you can do is just hop back up to the delivery ship hold section. And this is where you can update the ship with your biggest cargo hold. So this isn't going to include your ore hold, you're just going to update your ship cargo hold that can fit anything in it, whether it's ore, minerals, etc. So let's say you're starting out, you might have a venture 1, and you might have a cruiser that maybe has a ship hold of say 800. So you've updated your figures, you've gone through up here, you might find if you were to be collecting spodumene, just because of the sheer amount of titanium that you're going to get, this actually makes it less effective to reprocess and then transport. If you were to reprocess all your spodumene and then try and transport it to wherever you've got to go, you actually find it end up taking up more volume in your cargo capacity than what it would have done if you'd have just transported it in your mining ship. So this is going to really help you kind of identify what is the best ship to use for your transport, whether it's going to be something more like a cruiser that you've got on hand, or whether it's best to just get everything moved and shifted in that original mining ship. More relevant as you get like higher skills, or if you're starting out and have a much smaller like ship capacity, it really just gives you a bit more of that transparency as to what's the best option. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully this gives you a bit of a good overview into how to best use this. Obviously feel free to hop in and make changes as you like. There's another little kind of how-to tab with some details on saving, and this is your back-end data too. This is just between you and me, something you might want to just stay away from. If you start making changes here, playing around with it, starts causing problems over here. But yeah, just leave that alone and you'll be fine. The rest, go ham. More vids coming soon with more tools, so you guys can take over the galaxy. Yeah, I'll talk to you soon.